Welcome back, everybody, to the Irish Furian. I am the Irish Furian, and yeah, uh, I made a video today, and after the first one, after the one on um, the update. So this one, the second one that I made. Oops, I thought something was gonna fall there. The second one that I made, um, the second one that I made. Just get this right here. The second one that I made, the audio desynced with the video, and uh, it was the app. I think it's the app anyway. Uh, I don't know why it did it, but I took it out from the phone, put it onto the mini SD card, the micro SD card that's in the phone. I took that out and I put that into my PC with an adapter. I know this is all techno babble, but bear with me. I then put that into my documents in my PC, and I imported that into my video editing software to actually uh, cut and splice the audio to the video in sections. And I did that twice, three times maybe. I can't remember, three I think. And I had to go and find it each time because I actually took a splitting tool, or what is it, the snipping tool in Windows, and I took a photo shot of each where I had split the audio, the time code, and each one of those images, Windows told me that it couldn't view it. When I tried to render out or save the video, it told me I had an error. Didn't even tell me technically what error I had. It just told me I had an error. So basically, my system was telling me, "You've got an error, and we don't know what it is. There's no technical information to do with this error, so you're on your own." And that's the first time I ever encountered that with any program. So it just told me, "Yeah, I can do it." So good luck with that. So, all right. So the video that I made today was about masturbation, and it's about. I'm gonna try again. So I'm 3 minutes in, and I'll give this maybe about 10 minutes of a video if I can. So yeah, I'm trying a new setup here. I just deleted a feck load of apps off my phone, freed up a load of space, freed up anything that might be interfering with this particular video recording app, which is a really good app. It's called Open Camera, and you can have an external microphone connected to it. You can lock the exposure. There's lots of, and you can change the resolution very easily. So Open Camera is the name of it, and it works on a Huawei phone. Um, I know Warren, you've got a Huawei, so in fact it's a pretty good app. If it doesn't start desyncing the audio to the video. So yeah, I want to talk about uh, why I did it. Now, I'm going to be talking religion here, and I don't want you to switch off straight away because you can also interpret this in terms of, we say, a higher power, the material, um, consciousness, this kind of thing. Uh, that's probably if you're coming from a more liberal background, as I did. I was an atheist for 20 years. Before that, I grew up in a strict Christian Catholic uh, home background, and so by doing this is Lent, and this is the 40 days and 40 nights before Easter. And so I decided to not touch myself for those 40 days and 40 nights to see how I would view the world and how I would, you know, perceive sexuality and my own sexuality and the world around me. I wanted to see what effect it would have. And it was like before my days of hedonism. And when I use the word hedonism, I don't mean it in an old timey kind of way. I mean it in a term that when relationships didn't work out for me in my early 30s or mid 30s, I still, as a human being, felt the need to be with a woman. And so I would have non committal relationships. And so Um, that was one way around the issue. Uh, as we all have a background that leads us and conditions us to be a particular way in life. But before that period of time, I always sought relationships, and I sought romance, and I sought a partner. Um, Before that, growing up in my home of origin, um, my family was very strictly Christian and Catholic, and so I would, even after leaving home, I went through years of not mousterbating. Wee wee. So it was kind of a throwback to that. It felt like that. It felt like going back in time, and there is a stultifying effect, all right, to it. There's a kind of a grounding effect to it, and but the biggest thing I would say about it is that you see the world in a less sexual light. And I know to young men out there who are very sexual and very want a woman for sex, they are, what would I say? They're eager. And when they hear something like that, you see the world in a less sexual way. They're turned off straight away. Don't be, because there are greater things at stake here. There are, and if I'm not just talking about it within the terms of religion, your soul and all of that, your eternals, all that kind of thing. I'm talking about society. I'm talking about civilization. Like when you see the world in a less sexual light, your mind begins to focus on things as they are, not with say as you would want them to be, or in a very mushy liquid kind of way. You kind of see it in a very solid kind of way. Um, and the point being that um, Europe had great civilization, amazing civilizations under the Christian period. They built the most incredible cathedrals, the most made the most incredible art, the most incredible music was created under these periods of Christian ethos in Europe. And I believe the reason for that was that the baser, more material, baser energies were tamed and held and focused for one person, a wife, and family, and that the idea of reproduction was the thing, not uh, free and loose sexuality. And I believe it's through the controlling of one's own urges and instincts that and focusing them that when that everybody does that within a society, I think you create a civilization worth writing home about. Um, and it leads to other things. Your understanding of what is happening right now in Ireland in the year 2020, the way women are um, laid bare, you know, they don't even realize it themselves. Like I went into a cafe there about 2 days ago, a lovely cafe, for a cappuccino. It was a takeaway, but the girls were all young girls working behind the counter, and they were wearing those really skin tight black tights pants where I could see every curve, every crease of their anatomy. And I was hijacked straight away. Like it was sex straight away. You know, it was like, and that's a power that is a false power, a transient power that is being given to women right now. But it's not real power. Real power is being a mother, being a devoted, loving wife. That's where the meaning is. That's where the purpose is. And as a woman grows older, she becomes a matriarch in the family. She creates new life, and um, and the juxtaposition is that as our society has become more sexual, we're reproducing less. The birth rate is below replacement, and we have abortion. So there's more sex going on, but there's less reproductivity. So you see, it's a juxtaposition. You know, it's like during the time when Ireland and Europe was under a Christian ethos, a patriarchal ethos, there was more life. There was more. So there was the higher vibrations. The idea that you had, it wasn't your ego, it was the will of God. This painting was done for the glory of God. This cathedral is built for the glory of God. Now I know those religious out there will shiver and cringe and have gut reactions to this because of the way they've been trained and conditioned about religion. I'm saying, see it from a structural point of view, see it from a logistical point of view, that the taming of these instincts, not masturbating, uh, leads to a greater understanding of your world about you, a clearer understanding. It's tough. It's tough. Uh, and there's a kind of a nullifying, a stultifying, a slight depression about it. Um, but it's definitely worth trying. Um, and I think also too, you begin to see women in a less objectified light. You know, you begin to see them. You begin to see them. Now, I always did, but you by being a puller, by being like that, you train yourself to see women in a certain light. And when you stop doing that, you began to see the cringiness of always seeing things like that. You began to get a deeper respect for your own body, for your own senses, for your own world about you, and things mean something as they are presented to you. And so, um, I can go into, say, the thing about the girls dressing a certain way, that you see every curve. Like, imagine you were like a young father with a child and a wife, and you're going through a period like this, where and things are difficult at home, and things are not easy between yourself and your wife. For every couple has these moments and times where they're not going to get on for a while. So imagine then you go out to a place like that and you're ordering a coffee, or you're working in an office and you're not getting any from your wife, and women are presenting themselves like this to you. You're being pulled. You're all the time being pulled towards this sexualization of your environment, of the women around you who have this false power, this um, fleeting power of the look of their body, the, the most basest drive and instinct always being presented to you, always, always, always. And it's like, can you cut a break? Cut a man a break, I'm trying to get over a rough period here. So I'm hoping now that the audio hasn't desynced from the video here, so I'm just going to double back and check on it. But if it hasn't, then we're good to go for a few more.